Good night, tangerines. Welcome to another episode of Sunday Morning Tangents with a couple of tan.
Gents.
If you guys are listening to
It's
this,
me, guys. It's me.
if you're listening to this in your car, excuse me, in your cars, on your headphones, or just not on YouTube watching, go on YouTube, please, and watch that because I have a little treat for you. And it was a lot slower than I was thinking. Danny, look, we're both wearing red. We're matching.
No, it's not even red. It's
It's like Bergen.
it's
Wine.
Bergen.
This is wine because the Cavs wine and gold. Anyways, welcome. Oh, sorry. Excuse me. I am one of your hosts, Jason, followed by my co-host Danny, and today we're joined with a special guest who's here a few episodes ago, and we're glad to have him back, Adrian Mano Solis.
Hello.
Adrian does not have a camera yet, so don't worry about that. We are not worried about that. You'll see his face in due time if you want to see his face or if he even wants to show his face. But tonight, Danny, I fucked up. I should have changed this. I should have changed the overlay to Sunday Night Tangents.
Oh yeah.
We're rookies,
Yeah.
alright, people. We're rookies. Danny's 26. I'm 25. Just kidding. You're 25. I'm 23. What did I say?
Oh, Jason, you're 23. I'm 27. You should know that.
I apologize, of course. Thanks for joining us. This is Sunday Night Tangents Part 2. Dos. We're up late. It is about 2 in the morning. As everyone knows, the devil's hour.
The witching hour.
The witching hour. That's what it is. It's the witching.
Yeah.
It's the witching hour.
Only don't clap 3 times. Oh shit! I just did it, huh?
We're about
If
to
you
get
hear
on to-
people, if you hear a 3 clap, that means get the hell out of there.
We were recommended by a lovely, lovely live audience last episode to maybe do a spooky session. And we said, you know what? Bet. That's what the kids are saying, Danny. They're going, bet. That's what they're saying. Bet.
Bet.
So
Bet.
we said, bet. And we're doing a Sunday Night Tangent. And we're going to do a little spooky stuff. I don't know what we're going to do spooky exactly. Danny, for those who don't know, Danny loves watching his Nuke's Top 5 videos. And did you see it? And I don't know, we're going to get a little spooky. We're going to get as spooky as it gets. Adrian, don't get scared to get spooky.
I'll try not to.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's really good.
Danny loves his spooky stuff. What got you into the spooky stuff, Danny?
Ooh, because I used to hate it, Jason.
Mm.
You know, I used to hate it. My dad used to love watching horror movies, and I remember watching. He would watch because we used to sleep in one room, and my dad would just put horror movies at night. That was his thing, and the one that fucked me up was Chucky.
It also
Good
is
movie.
Chucky. I if in case you can't hear it, I hope you can. But I have a scary ambiance in the background.
Ooh.
Scary. I was such a scaredy cat, and I think we've talked minimally about this sort of thing, Danny, because you've talked about your house in Wate and living in Wate and being haunted, and your sisters seeing scary stuff there as well.
Yeah.
In terms of scary stuff for me, Danny, I think I have talked about it, but I was such a little coward for so damn long. Excuse me, I'm getting emotional thinking about it.
Don't tell us
okay.
yet. Just tell me your process. Don't tell this because I know you have a couple of scary stories, Jason. Because you say you don't believe it a little bit, but just don't say it yet.
No,
Okay.
what I was gonna say,
Yeah.
I was gonna say it. I remember when we lived in apartments when I was about 5 years old. My dad watching Chucky, and I was terrified of Chucky. And then there was this one. I don't even go inside. I didn't go into Spencer's stores until I was like 13 or 14, maybe even 15, because I was so
Because they
terrified.
had the Chucky's
Everywhere.
doll was there.
Everywhere,
Yeah.
Danny. Everywhere.
Yeah.
Bring them around me. And I remember being about 6, and I was like, you know what? I could watch Chucky. And a trailer came on for one of the movies, whatever was coming out, and I was like, nope, that was a mistake. And then my family was watching Jeepers Creepers too. And this is, I don't know, I might have been like 10, 12, 11, something like that. And I was like, you know what? This is it. I could watch this very confidently. I was like, I'm going to watch this. First sight of Jeepers Creepers, whatever his name is, the creeper. I was like, no. I bawled. I was crying like a little baby. I was like, nah, I lied.
So that was your history with horror movies and horror stuff at the beginning.
Oh my god, I could not watch them. We went to go watch back in the day. We used to go to the theater often with the whole family, and we used to stay there literally all day. Literally in the theater, Danny, all day.
Yeah, I can see that.
Morning
Back then?
to sundown. And one of the ones that we were sneaking into was Scary Movie 2. And we were like, Scary Movie 2, it's a comedy, sure. I was a little kid. That movie came out, 2001, 2002,
Yeah.
whatever it did. I don't remember.
A year. Yeah, a year.
Yeah.
It came out at some point, and the beginning, I don't know if you remember, is parody of The Exorcist. And at first I was like, this is fine. And then they show her in her Exorcist
Yeah,
makeup,
yeah,
and I was like, no. Me and my mom walked out. I was like,
yeah.
a little bitch, dude.
He's
now,
like, "Why you wanna fuck me?"
now I'm over here watching Sinister in the morning, just for fun. So he's falling
My
asleep. to
favorite part
Sinister.
was he was in the bathroom and like all the flies were
Oh,
going on
yeah,
him,
the
and
fly,
then you
he's
didn't
taking a
realize.
shit.
Yeah, you didn't realize he was taking a
He's
shit.
taking a
Yeah.
shit.
It is so disgusting, that movie.
What about you, Adrian? What was your first introduction to horror stuff, or any you heard stories or whatever, ghost stories, movies?
So I don't know what my first introduction was, but I could tell you Chucky was terrifying to me. To this day, dolls are not something I want around me when I sleep. That is not. I mean, like, ugh, just dolls in general. I do remember The Exorcist. I was too scared to watch that one. I think I know I was super scared of Poltergeist. That's
a good movie. Also scary too.
Yeah, because like the whole like widescreen, that was I hope that was Poltergeist. I think
The clown.
Oh yeah, from also parodied in Scary Movie 2. Where
Yeah,
he gets
also
his
parodied.
weed, where he gets his weed and he wraps it around his neck.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
I can't pinpoint which ones, but then eventually I started getting like normal with like just scary movies in general.
Sounds
Where I
like
was
we
just
all,
like, ooh.
yeah, we all go through the same sort of function, huh?
I think you don't. If you start not being scared to scary movies, you're a psychopath. At that point,
I want to agree with that. I want to agree if you when you're a kid and you're okay with scary movies, there might be something wrong with you.
Yeah. Because nobody starts with oh, I'm not scared of that.
You know what though? I don't. I'm gonna put him on blast. You know what? I'm gonna put him on blast. My cousin.
Oh, I
cousins,
know.
he would take his son. I don't remember the age, but it's definitely below 5 to go watch whatever movie. I remember going to watch Straight Outta Compton with this baby. Not baby. He was old enough to walk. I don't remember how old he was, but he was just watching Straight Outta Compton like this. He's chilling like this, like, yeah, I'm watching this. But he would also have him watch Evil Dead, the remake.
Oh
God.
shit!
And yeah, no, he made him watch some hardcore stuff, and I was like, why are you doing this? You're gonna traumatize this kid. And this kid is fine now. He's like 12 or 11, but still, he wasn't like that terrified of watching this. I remember watching over him this one time when he was like 8, or maybe I don't know, he was younger, and I wanted to watch something Disney with him. And he's like, no, he didn't want to watch that. He wanted to watch something scary or brutal or something actiony. And I was like, oh man, I'm over here watching.
He just got used to it. Yeah, he just got used to it then.
He's like, what the fuck is this bullshit? This is like children.
But it's funny how we all agree that the first thing was a doll and Chucky. The scariest the most when we were kids.
I think it's because like we're kids and like dolls are like
we're
are
supposed to
something
trust
that,
them.
yeah, like they're there. I was like, oh yeah, here's a little doll for you, even if it's like it's not really a doll for like guys or little boys, but it's just like we still have something that's still close to that.
Yeah. Yep. I used to get scared also when over there in Guatemala, my grandma will tell us you have to pray, because if you don't pray, the la mano peluda, or the hand with the hair, will
hairy
be
hand?
the hairy hand will just appear when you're not paying attention to where you're praying. It would just appear and would try to grab you. Yeah, like that.
So
So I will watch in the corner of the door, and they were praying, and it could be dark, or we used to pray, and I would just imagine the freaking hand just appearing out of nowhere. Yeah,
that sounds very scary. I never heard of this hairy hand
yeah. I don't know where it
mythology.
comes from. Yeah, the mano peluda. If you look it
I
up,
think
it's
there's a movie, right, of that?
Really?
I think so.
It sounds like
Yeah,
it's just a werewolf.
it sounds like some type of I, you know what I think is fried from? Yeah, there's a movie about it. Yeah, it's short. It's probably the werewolf or some type of like I don't know, demon or something, or maybe I don't know. But that's what my grandma used to tell us, and I would be really scared.
You know, one of our off recordings, you and I, Danny, when we used to just do this literally for fun and not record it at all.
Yeah.
Or sorry, record it but not post it anywhere because we didn't do anything. Was our horror movie bracket. We did it in Halloween 2022. We're on that in October 2022. I don't know. We're so dumb, huh? We're so dumb. Like, why did we do that?
It took us 2 hours, I think.
It's longer. It for sure took
I
us
think
longer. Dude.
I think it took us longer. Yeah.
It took us so long. But anyways, I can't wait to do that come spooky season, where we get to talk about.
We're not
these
gonna show
movies.
which is let's not say, but I think there's gonna be new ones, Jason. There's
think
new movies coming out.
We need to have maybe polls of what people think should be on there. Or
Yeah.
Because I think before we didn't even know what to put. We ended up just going on Google and seeing which horror movies out there. But that's gonna be a fun one. That's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
Do you guys have a favorite horror movie? Adrian?
Ooh. That's a hard question, actually. I'm pretty sure somebody's asked me this before.
I
Like
mean,
a
one of your best
go-to?
friends is huge horror fan, so I'm sure you guys have talked plenty about it.
Yeah, I mean,
What, Danny? While he's thinking about that,
I think recently, Hereditary. I think is one of them. That movie, it's I don't get scared by jump scares. I get scared with the psychological and also like some of the scenes, like really fucked up scenes that in that movie shows, and the whole. And I don't want to say too much, but the whole cultist kind of stuff
That's freaky.
that scares me. Yeah.
That's freaky. I think.
Yeah.
I think I've never been more scared watching a movie than watching The Conjuring in the theater.
Oh, that's
Ooh,
that's
that's
another
actually
one.
a good
That's
one.
another one. Yep.
Watching
if I
it-
want
Oh,
to,
Yeah. Yep.
Oof.
Yep. That movie, especially the scene. I don't want to say it, but the scene in the wardrobe.
The
And
Lion, the
daytime.
Witch, and the Wardrobe. Adrian, you were
Yep.
saying?
is it like the scariest movie so far, or my favorite? Like, oh, I just love watching it.
Up
Whatever
into
you think right
interpretation.
now.
Yeah, well, up
Yeah.
into both. Give both if you have one for each.
God, that's still hard though.
Because there's
'Cause,
a lot.
you know-
There's a lot of recent good ones.
Because I don't know if The Conjuring would be my favorite horror movie, but it's definitely the one that scared me the most. So I feel like it should be, right?
Oh,
I don't know.
I don't know because I have, for example, Paranormal Activity 1. That fucked me up.
Mm.
That fucked me up for a couple of days.
My brother
And
was
that, like,
fucked up with paranormal movies for so long.
yeah.
So
Yep.
long.
I believed him. I was like, oh shit, that's actually real. And I was like, that looks like it's in San Diego. I was like, that's crazy. Or like they said somewhere like,
It was like
right?
Escondido. I think it was Escondido,
Yeah, like-
no?
Somewhere close. And I'm just like, fuck that.
And
That
it
bitch
was
was like running loose. I was like,
Yes.
oh no.
and it was a time where we never seen this type of movies. Besides, what was that movies that had like the whole
Oh, the
live
Blair Witch.
camera?
He's talking about
The Blair
Cloverfield.
Witch. That's another one. Cloverfield. Yes, thank you, Jason. Oh, Jason, you know me.
I got you.
Yeah, Cloverfield.
Yeah, okay.
Cloverfield was we haven't seen. So this came out in 2007. And I remember people were just talking about it, and I remember the Blair Witch, which I rented the movie in Blockbuster back in 2004, I think, and because I heard about it, somebody told me to watch it, and I'm like, okay, and I watched it by myself. at night. I couldn't sleep after that either.
Interesting.
So
Blair
Okay.
Witch. I remember watching Blair Witch. Oh, by the way, there's footage out there of me and Danny Blair Witching in the Oregon forest.
oh
Do you remember that?
Oh hell no.
It's
yeah.
so short. I couldn't take myself serious at all, so I was being a bad actor. But Blair Witch Project also messed me up for a little bit because even I watched it before social media became what it was or Google became what it was. So you would watch it and you'd be like, "Nah, that's not real, right?" But they marketed these college students marketed it so well that you would still believe it. It's real. Well,
Yep.
Paranormal Activity, you kind of believe it was real, but then it was so easy to just Google and then find out no, it wasn't actually.
It is
real.
not.
So it's kind of I think that type of we just talked about found footage movies in the last podcast, but maybe that's part of the problem. We could just disprove it so quick that it takes away all sense of belief. I don't know, but
It is
I
true.
just don't like any. It's not. I say I don't like it, but I yet like to watch it. Any cultist, any that has to do with the demon, like humans doing some type of that kind of stuff. It's just I don't know. It gives me that Jeepers creepers, the GB creepies,
heebie-jeebies.
the heebies creepies.
Heepies
Uh,
keepies.
uh, and
The
like
one that-
now, you're
Oh,
saying?
go ahead.
No, no,
Well,
go
I
ahead.
was just gonna say
Adrian,
the one that
Adrian.
was like really like scary for me, if anything, would be that I forgot the name, but the one with like it was the one where you kept watching the films and it would make the dads crazy. It was usually the dads that found the films,
Sinister.
and there's like
There's a
yes,
difference there.
the
Yeah,
I
Sinister.
think the second one was the worst. That was the scariest one for me, and I was like,
Yeah, it's
hell
really
no,
fucked up.
because they were like in a
Mhm.
farm out in the middle of nowhere. Oh, it was like
I heard the
yeah.
second Sinister. I haven't watched it. It came out years after the first Sinister, and I heard the second one wasn't that good.
No,
it's still. I don't
scary.
know if it's maybe because I just
Yeah.
don't. Farms themselves are just scary to me because
Should I
it's
watch
like
that
you're out
tonight?
in the middle of
Oh,
nowhere. Hell no.
Jason.
Or even the strangers. The strangers scared the shit out of me.
Oh yes.
You know
I
what?
yes.
hated those. Oh,
I've tried
Yes,
I've tried to
yes.
convince Diana to watch it with me for so long, but I'm also hesitant. She doesn't do well with horror movies, so I
No, The Strangers is kind of fucked up. I do agree with
dude.
it's
because it's something that is not paranormal. It's just it can happen to you.
And
it
now it's
literally
another
is
one.
just-
They
mm.
said based on true events,
Yeah,
which
that's another
mean,
one.
I believe it. People are crackheads and crazy.
Yeah.
I think that was one of those loose based on strange events. I think it's one of those where they found a dead family in a house and that was it. So like then they're like, ooh, what if it was like people stalking them? So then they just interpreted it as whatever they wanted to.
All right, that was it for me on the podcast. I'm gotta go.
Pee yourself.
Buy myself a stick. Yeah.
Strangers is terrifying. What about
It's-
Hush?
it's- That's another one. But that
I've
one was
not
more
seen it.
like
Oh,
you
Adrian,
haven't
watch
seen
that.
it. Oh,
Watch Hush.
but let's not say nothing about it. Yeah, let's not such. I do gotta say though, that one is not as scary as the Strangers, in my opinion, but it's still really good.
It's thrilling, suspenseful.
Thrilling. Yes, yes.
Is
And there's a
I'll-
reason why.
I'll give you the synopsis. I don't think it's a spoiler, but
Okay.
it's not. It's about a woman who's deaf who lives in a house, and someone comes in
In the middle of the woods.
in the middle of the woods,
Yeah.
and that's it.
Wait,
And shit,
Wait, what?
there's a guy that's out there who is terrorizing her. We'll say that, and that's it.
Yeah.
But she's deaf, and that adds a whole other element of. Denise says Hush is good. If you guys liked Hush, you guys should check out Sick on Peacock. I think it was on Peacock. Sick.
Mhm.
I think I recommended it to everybody after I saw it. I don't think anyone saw it, but this is my second
We
endorsement.
can watch that one. Yeah.
Endorsement for Sick. It is
interesting.
Hush-esque with a little
Okay.
bit of like there are parts of it. It's not as well. It's not as good as Hush because Hush feels very cohesive, and Sick gets a little like meh.
A little too broad.
I don't know how to put it
Mhm.
exactly. I think it gets too Gen Z. And
Okay.
you'll see what I mean when you watch it.
Okay.
If you watch it, but Sick.
Okay.
That's good stuff.
Also, the last house on the left That one's kind of like The Strangers. I still feel like that one is The Strangers a little more scary than The Last House on the Left.
Is that the one Jennifer
Uh,
Lawrence?
that's the one. Let me look it up. With the guy from what's the popular show about meth
Oh,
and
Bryan
Breaking
Cranston.
Bad.
what you said?
Breaking Bad.
Yeah, Breaking Bad. I think
Bryan
it's
Cranston's
that's
in it?
yeah.
Oh,
Aaron Paul
oh,
or
the
Francis.
other
Yeah,
guy.
Francis.
Hmm.
Francis. Yeah, yeah. That's his name, right? Francis. I don't know his name, so I don't know.
Aaron Paul. Aaron Paul.
Yeah. So him. Yeah, he's in it.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Not
Yeah.
Jennifer Lawrence.
No, Sarah
Oh.
Paxton.
Wonder what movie I'm thinking of.
No, not
Anyways.
that one. Yeah, but that one. See, those type of movies are kind of fucked up. Like you're
It's-
right. Strangers was kind of fucked up.
It's those real ones where you're like, shit, I hope no one comes in my house and is super psycho and wants to terrorize me and torture me. Those are
There,
scary.
if there's sometimes people don't. If you talk to who's a policeman, they will tell you a lot of situations that they have found. Because a lot of stuff like that usually happens, but they don't report it. You know, they don't report it, of course, to the public. They report it, but
Oh,
so,
I mean,
sometimes
it's not public
people will
knowledge,
talk.
though. It's all
Yeah.
about looking for it. I'm pretty sure, Danny, once Sunday Night Tangents. So, oh, wait. Sunday Night Terrors.
19. Oh,
Sunday,
don't get scared, tangerines.
Ooh, what about once Sunday Night Terrors gets off, I'm gonna go to the police department and find the craziest stuff and be like, ooh, that one sounds spooky, just like in Sinister. And by the way, in Sinister, it was the kid, because Bogul was the children eater. So he would consume the child, and then one of the children. Oh my God, what is that? Oh God, sorry, Danny just
I
put up
I
a
thought that was
mask.
a dog.
Danny, stop that.
Oh, just going like this.
So one of the I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. One of the children would be the one killing the family. Sinister, really good. Danny,
I
I want to pivot out of movies real quick because this is spooky.
You're right. I forgot about that.
And I want to get to you because you've experienced some scary stuff growing up in Watan. Maybe even I don't know if Adrian's heard stories, but I feel like every Latino
I think
has a family member or it happened to them. Every Latino family member or family has a story about some sort of paranormal activity or something scary. I'm so scared of looking at my camera right now and then seeing my door slowly
see
open.
something. Yeah, slowly opening. Which, by the way, Denise is gonna do that pretty soon. I'll just let you know. I know how Denise is, so don't get scared.
She's listening, so now she knows you're expecting it.
Yeah. Anyways, my grandpa used to tell us a lot. Our grandpa Jason used to tell us a lot of stories. And then my mom was also support it. One time, she would tell me that when they used to go hunting for bunnies back then, and they usually do go hunting at night. So this is a story that my mom would tell me, and my uncles would tell me. They said that they used to go hunting, and then one time my grandpa was telling me the story where he said they went, and then they got like a bunch of the bunnies and they put it in a costal, you know. I don't know how you
What's
call
a
it
costal?
in English.
What is that?
The little where you put the coffee. You know where you put the coffee of the big the bags that they use over there.
The big brown
The
like,
plastic bags. Yeah.
Potato sack.
Yeah.
But yes, sack
Like a potato sack. Yeah.
Yeah.
The potato sack. Yeah. So they would put. He says that he put a bunch of them there. He came over here. He would get to the house, and then when he gets to the house, he would just open the bag, and then there will be no bunnies at all. And like my mom also not just him, my mom and my uncles, they tell the same story that they used to go with my grandpa and they would grab the bunnies, and then they knew there was bunnies in the bags and they saw the bunnies, but when they get to the house, the bunnies would just disappear. They would open the bag, there was nothing in there, there was no hole, there's nothing. But my grandpa said that the reason why he says the stuff like that will happen to him is because he used to read the Bible around 3 a.m.
Because it's the
And
witching
the
hour. Wait, I thought it was 2 a.m. I'm sorry.
No, it's 3. No, it's 3. It's 3 a.m. The witching hour is 3 a.m.
Sorry, go ahead.
No. The reason why he said that he will read the Bible. Do you remember Jason? Do you remember his room?
Yeah, where he
Kind of.
always set up the nacimiento.
Yeah. No. I'm talking about his room. His room where he used to sleep on.
His
So it'll
bedroom.
be, yeah,
Which one was it? Was it the
on,
one at the end?
on
At the
top.
top? Yeah, but like
Yeah,
the one at the end.
yeah, with the little maca. So there'll be a maca, right, looking
Oh,
to the
yeah.
outside of the house.
Hammock.
So anyway,
Maca's hammock.
yeah. So he would sit down and he would just start reading the Bible. The reason why he will start that early is because he had to wake up early
Or late.
because or late. You're right. He said they have to wake up early or late, like you said, or go to sleep late, but because of tobacco, so they have to pretty much cultivate tobacco. And when you cultivating tobacco, you have to be on your back often. So because it will get too hot too soon in the morning, they will start really early, like 3 a.m. to 4 a.m. in the morning. So when he woke up, he will just start reading the Bible, start praying, and then he will feed himself, and then go to the fields. Couple of nights he says that he would read the Bible, and then he just felt like somebody sat next to him, not next to him, but like in front of him. And that time there was not many lights, so he only have his candle or some type of flashlight, and everything else would be dark. And he said a couple of times he would see a figurine, like a black figure, just sitting down in the dark side. And then one time that figure just opens, like, it looked like he opened the eyes, everything was black, and it would be you can only see his eyes, and it would be like glowing red. And I guess one time my grandpa got really scared, and he asked him, like, what are you? And he's like, why you reading that? He said, why you have to read that? And that's it.
I wish he was still alive so we could ask him about this.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure if you ask my uncles, I'm pretty sure they have stories like that about him. But
I gotta ask my mom about it. I gotta
Yeah.
ask her about the bunnies too. I've never heard about this bunny story.
yeah, ask her. My mom would tell me, and then my grandpa one time told me about it, and I'm like,
You
but
got
stuff like
robotic
that.
/ slow right there, Danny. It sounded weird.
What? Oh, I did.
It told me.
Uh,
To put a little bit of context and scene setter, that little shout out to Cerro Gordo. Cerro Gordo is very scary, especially at that time. Even when what the heck happened to your TV? Why was it flashing, dude?
right? That's what I said. That's what we look at in the back. I don't know why it's flashing.
When
It's not me, right?
no, I saw it
was
flashing.
flashing,
Even
right?
when
Yeah.
we were younger, in early 2000s, they still didn't have pavement roads or light on the streets. So it was always very scary. This one time, you turn it off, you son of a gun. You changed the video.
No, I changed it because it was flashing. So
Shit,
yeah.
he's trying to spook me. This one time, I must have been around 10. I think I was 10. I think 10, 11, or 12. As always, that seems to be the hour.
Mm-hmm.
Then he said, "El cucu iba a salir." Don't say that. We were on our way leaving Guatemala. We were going to the airport. It was my grandpa driving his pickup truck, my mom and my dad inside, my brother, my sister, and I in the back in the bed, and we were like all encobijados, and we were back there. And Danny, you remember this, but it's Cerro Gordo, a very small town, and at the entrance of the town, one side there's like basically two roads that are the entrances to the town, and on one of them was the entrance was a cemetery, like the local cemetery. It's very scary right there. Anyways, we were it was like it was like 4 a.m. We were driving by there. It was pitch black, and we were just driving right by the cemetery. If I'm lying, I'm trying not to, Danny. All right.
I know.
As we were driving back there, you could ask my sister and my brother too. They remember this. We just hear a very loud shriek, like as we're driving by there, like if someone's getting murdered. Honestly, like a woman getting murdered. But it was pitch black. You could see like the trees that are in front of you, obviously, because it's hard to paint a real picture. Just imagine it's called Cerro Gordo, which in direct translation is Fat Hill. So it's on a hill, and there's trees everywhere, and slopes. So you can't see a lot. We didn't see anything. You couldn't even see the cemetery, which is probably just about 40 feet away from the actual road. So we couldn't even see that. We just heard the loud shriek from not too distant. It was close enough so that we could hear it very clearly. And we all were like, yeah, we all heard that. And that shit was scary. That was the first time I was like, maybe it's true. Maybe I believe in ghosts now. Or maybe someone was getting murdered.
It's one thing is experiencing darkness like here, but once you experience darkness like in the woods, it's different darkness.
I thought you were going to say darkness in what? That's different.
Oh no! I mean in the woods in general. If you experience like darkness, like pitch dark, it's a different story. Your mind can go really wild. You can start getting crazy. But that, Jason, there's a lot of stories that I'm pretty sure people will tell you, or a lot of stories from Yinguate about that spot.
Oh, dude,
that's fine.
Do you remember? You and I, Danny, once went. I think it was with you when we were a lot younger, and we were just walking by, and we went to go attend one of the funerals.
I don't remember who funeral was, but I do remember that we went to a funeral.
I don't remember the person. I just remember looking at the dead guy.
Yeah.
And I was like,
yep,
he looks happy though.
God.
I remember thinking like, he looks happy.
It's always scary though, looking at somebody like dead in a coffin.
I think it was the first time I've ever seen a dead person.
It looks weird. It looks really. They're right, pale. It looks really pale.
Yeah, no blood.
And like no blood. It looks really weird. Yeah.
And I'm sure I think they give him the smile too. That's why he was smiling.
Yeah.
I think they add it postpartum.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I don't know. That was one of my scary ones. I'll give another scary one. This is we're here in the spooking hour.
What about you, Adrian? What do you have?
I mean, I don't know. I feel like I'm
what
not
you heard?
either. So, me personally, I feel like either I blocked them out or I don't have much experience with it because maybe I'm just not like supernatural attracted person. But I mean, I do believe in it. The only thing I could think of is like, I didn't even know about this until like my sister said it. But we used to live in Santa Ana in our old house.
Shout out Santa Ana.
Up like. We would always like sometimes fall asleep on my parents' bed. Apparently, it was a pretty good bed. Apparently, she said when she fell asleep, she could see an old lady sitting like at the top of like the bed frame. So you know how most Mexican beds have like the kind of headboard.
Yeah.
There was an old lady just sitting on top of like the bed, the bed rest, just looking down at her while she was sleeping.
Damn.
And like my sister would just sit there and like with her eyes open just stare at her. Like I guess nobody would see her, just her. And I was like, hell no.
Damn.
Thank God she didn't say that.
That happens in thank God that happens with night terrors, right? Like is that am I making this up?
It depends on the person. Like for me, when night terrors happen, I don't see anything. I just feel like something's gonna come in from the door.
Wait, not night terrors, sorry. I'm talking sleep paralysis.
Same thing, right? Oh, I mean, sleep paralysis and night terrors. I think they're the same thing for me because I don't know if you guys had it before.
No.
You never
thank
had
God.
it?
Neither.
Oh.
I want to experience sleep paralysis, honestly.
No, you do not.
No,
you
I
do
don't.
not.
Okay, I'll take
no,
your
you
word
do
for
not.
it. Never mind. I don't want to experience it. Okay, I'll take your word for it.
Sleep paralysis happens usually when, let's say, you're taking a nap and your brain is still active, but your body's really tired. So, but for me, it happened often when I was a kid, when I used to live in the house, and I will imagine, so your eyes are open and you're like trying to move and you feel like somebody's coming. For me, it was like somebody is coming in. Somebody's gonna come and grab me. And I'm like, ugh. And Denise had heard me before, me trying to wake up. You sound, in my mind, I'm screaming like loud. I'm like, oh, wake up, wake up, wake up. But in reality, I'm like, but that's how it sounds. And I'm trying to, but it's horrible because you're trying to wake up and you just don't, your body's not doing anything. You tell your body move, but it's not doing anything. And some people, they say that they see like some figure. Some people, they say they experience some type of a black entity choking them because sometimes you can't breathe. So yeah, in night terrors, I mean there's almost the same thing. I think
Denise says he literally screams.
Oh.
She said you literally
Well, there we go. Yeah, there you
Damn.
go.
Oh
It
shit.
happens that often?
Not anymore. No, when I was a kid, it used to happen more often. Now it just happens
A kid living in Guante?
one time. Yeah.
Maybe it was
Okay.
haunted. You
You
don't
know
know.
that kid in Sinister was experiencing night terrors when he was living in that house.
What? But it's what they say about kids and people who are about to die. They tend to see the spiritual world.
Kids could see the spiritual world.
Kids can see the spiritual world because they're more innocent, so their eyes haven't developed. I don't know. That's what they say. I don't know. I don't know the reason why, but that's why you see those movies. Mainly the kids. The parents can't see it because kids can see what we can't see, and then when somebody's about to die, has a terminal ill disease or something, they get to see it because they're about to pass to the other world.
Sounds like folklore
Yeah.
to me, but interesting. I mean, it could be a crazy imagination or very imaginative imagination.
My dad, this is my dad. I wish I can bring my dad here and tell you guys, but my dad used to live in, I think, Santa Ana. He said somewhere in, or I forgot where,
Hey.
Anaheim, and he got a house. He rented a house pretty cheap. He was able to rent a house pretty cheap. I'm pretty sure if you ask
Must be nice.
your dad, Jason, but this is like back in the early 90s. He says he was able to rent a room or a duplex. I don't know what it was, but he told me that he started living there, and he didn't know how he got it so cheap. But anyways, he started living there, and then my mom was a stay-home mom, and my mom will tell my dad like, "Hey, there's a lot. Why did you woke me up? Like, so early, or like, because she would feel somebody touching her. The doors were start moving by itself, and my dad started to experience that too, and he couldn't sleep. Sometimes he couldn't sleep because he would just hear knocks, loud knocks, and he would see the doors moving, and his sheets cover just being pulled out at one time. So, anyways, my dad told me they had to move out because my mom couldn't sleep at all, and they couldn't sleep at all. And when he asked the tenant, like, "Is this place haunted or what?" and he says, like, "Well, did you?"
Hey, what's up? Is this place haunted or what? You tell me.
Yeah, pretty much. And apparently, the guy told him like, "Yes, because before you, they used to live. Narcos used to live here." And they recently like a couple of years ago or something like that, they found them dead or something. There was some type of gang narcos stuff that happened in the house, and I guess 4 people died or something like that.
Shit, this was in Santa Ana, you said?
Yeah.
I was laughing,
Huh?
Danny, while you were saying that because I was thinking to myself that I don't think I've ever seen you take anything we've talked about in this podcast more serious than this topic.
Oh man,
You
I
just
love
look
this
so
topic.
serious. Yeah, I could tell.
Love this topic, man.
This-
I love it because it's something that unknown. I don't know. I don't know anything about it, and I want to know, but I also want
Full
to stay away
disclosure,
from it.
I don't fully I'm a very gotta see it to believe it type of person. So I've yet to see something really damning and conclusive.
You have.
That's a great segue, Danny, because this is the room where it happened, similar to Hamilton. The
Yeah,
room where
yeah.
it happened. Room where
Yeah.
This is
I
the
wanna
room where it
know.
happened. So this had basically the same setup. So I think this was. Let's see, my brother wasn't living with us. I must have been about 15 or 16 at this point. And this wasn't always the room I was in. This is still one of my childhood houses, and I shared a room with my brother for a very long time. And my sister had this room, but family stuff happens, and she left for a little bit, and I took over this room when she left. And she used to wake up with a bunch of bruises. Could have been iron deficiency, but that never came up whenever she went to the hospital. So they were like, "Wow, we don't really know what their bruises are." But she would get bruises a lot, too much actually. I wonder if she still gets bruises. Sorry. Anyways.
Ask her. Yeah.
I will. Let me go knock. So, anyways, this one night, I remember watching. I can't remember what I was watching, but it must have been South Park, because I think I was watching South Park late at night on Comedy Central, and it was about, I want to say midnight-ish, 1 a.m. And I was laying down and I was just watching TV, and remember, it was just my parents' home. My sister wasn't living with us at the moment, and I was laying there, and then all of a sudden, that door right there, the door I just moved my head from, that's money right there, by the way. That's a bunch of moolah right there. That doorknob, let me point at it. This doorknob started shaking, but so was the door. So at first I couldn't see it because I don't know if you could tell. It's like a little bit of a hallway right here. This section right here, it's a bit of a hallway. So, and from my bed, which is over there, from where my head's at, you can't really tell. But all I heard was my door shaking. And it wasn't super aggressive. It just sounded like someone was trying to come in, and they were shaking the doorknob, and it was going back and forth and back and forth. And when I peeked over, I sat up and I peeked over, and the doorknob was moving a little bit. And I was like, oh no, this is it. This is how I go. And then I go into my bed, and I go under my covers. And I was like 15, 16. I was just like, no. It's a classic thing, right? I was like, what do I do? What do I do? I'm not going to go fucking check. I'm not going to go to my door. And I put my blanket over my head, and I couldn't sleep. So about 30 minutes passed by. And for some reason, I mustered the courage to open the door. And I even opened my parents' bedroom door. And I was like, I peek inside, and no one, they were there, but they were dead asleep. Like, they wouldn't even try to play this type of prank with me. They would not mess around with that. My brother wasn't home. I don't know where he was at, but I looked in his room. He wasn't home. And I think he was going out to, I think he didn't come back home from work. But, so, I still don't know what it was, honestly. But there was for sure a lot of shaking. And I got
no explanation for it?
Got no explanation, but I still don't even fully believe that it was some sort of paranormal activity. It was just, I don't know what it was.
You can't explain it.
I can't. It was about 5 seconds of shaking too, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it's like 1, 2, and it's going back and forth, and my heart's beating super fast. I'm like, oh, not an earthquake, Denise. Thanks for that. No, we get earthquakes often here in California. So I think I could distinguish those. But even if it was an earthquake, the doorknob wouldn't be shaking. Like, the doorknob wasn't shaking. It was just rattling a little bit, like they were trying to open it.
Does your door lock?
Yeah, it's a very old school type of door too, where it's just like a button that you press.
Was it locked at the time?
No, I didn't lock my door. We never got used to locking our doors. So it wasn't that it was locked. So it's not that it didn't come in, whatever it was.
It was just moving.
It was just moving, like it. I don't know, like it did.
If somebody was trying to come in, he would just open the door. Then
they could have just opened the door. It was not locked.
Instead of just moving the doorknob.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What time was it?
It was about 1 a.m., midnight.
Oof.
It was late.
Damn.
It was late because I remember the commercials that were coming on are those remember the Girls Gone Wild commercials?
Beep,
Oh.
beep, 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 beep.
Yeah. Like those commercials were coming on. So I remember, I was like, yeah. I was getting excited to watch Girls Gone Wild commercials.
Weren't we all?
I think that was all of us. And see Howard Stern, how do you say it?
Stern.
Oh,
was
yeah.
don't
Tried to
remember.
see if
He had a wild
What?
show.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, they would actually show a lot.
they will show the girls' boobs. And
Really?
yeah.
Yeah. They'd even show them there's one, sometimes they'd show them riding the thing that vibrates. It was an old, I don't know if they still have it, but it looks like a horse mount, but it was on the floor. But it would vibrate.
Yes.
And they would you want to sit on it? And people the girls
Some
would be
girls
like,
would just
yeah,
get in
sure,
it.
why not?
Yeah.
And it'd be like celebrities. Some of them
Yeah.
be celebrities.
Yep.
I never watched Howard Stern or listened to him. I just know him from word of mouth.
Some of the episodes were cool back then, but it's Comedy Central, man.
Anyway,
Different time.
sorry, completely
Yeah.
off on a tangent there. I really wish we would have had cameras inside or something to record that, because that would have been hard to explain.
Well, a lot of people now are experiencing they've been posting a lot of videos because they have cameras inside now.
Fake.
I don't know. There's some
Did
videos
you
where there's a
see
lot
it?
of them. Yeah,
Shit.
there's a lot of videos like that.
Yeah, but like, I don't know. I'm like, I'd be like Jason. I'd be like 50-50. It still scare me, but I'm just like, I don't know. In my head, I would just try to justify. I'm like, nah, there's a
Yeah.
reasonable explanation for this.
I feel the same. Like my first thought isn't, oh, it's a ghost. My first thought, I wonder why I was doing
Like,
that. Like
somebody's
who's at
coming
yeah,
in.
like who's at the door?
Yeah.
Like somebody's coming in. Is that what you're saying?
But I was terrified because at first I was like, what the hell? Who's coming in at this hour? Like, it's weird. I wasn't doing anything. Like, you know what I mean?
Oh, I have a good one actually. This actually happened like maybe a year or two ago. You just reminded me. Okay. So you can't see my room. Sorry about that. But so I have a closet. Think of it for visually. Let's do like Jason's. So the closet is just where Jason's at. And then my bed is almost identical to where, like, a little bit farther away. Yeah, like where here. That's where my bed would be, right? There's plenty of room where Jason is. So it's a good distance between the closet and the bed. Like, I'd say like 5 feet. 5 feet from the closet and the bed. The door was open. I usually put, like, there's a shelf in there, so I usually put a bunch of stuff. I put a box there, like a Christmas box, and I left it there. It was just chilling there. I was just walking around. It was just me, my mom, and my brother at home. And then I don't know what I did, but I left the room, and then all of a sudden I come back and I hear something like fall. And I was like, what the fuck was that? The Christmas box somehow fell down and landed straight in the middle of the room. But from where it is from the closet, there was no way it would have landed on that. Because it's like...
It's too far away?
Yeah, it was like a good maybe 10 feet. If that, like a good, I want to say like 10, maybe like 8 feet from where it was to where it landed. And it like completely missed my bed. Like, if anything, I would have like, oh, okay, maybe the bed, if anything. But like that thing just like somehow flew all the way to the middle of the room. And I was like, that made no sense. I was like, what the fuck's going on? I was so scared. I was like, were you in my, I even asked my brother, I was like, were you in my room? He was like, no. It's like, how the fuck did that box get all the way over here? Because even if it fell, it would have fell like straight down. That thing literally flew across the room essentially. And I was so freaked out. It was like, it's a good visual when you see it because it's such a like the distance from where I found it. And I was just like,
there was no way that box could just just fell down. It would just fall down, but down.
Yeah, it would have just like, you know, when something falls down, it just falls straight down.
It wouldn't have bounced.
This thing like basically flew across my room to somewhere it shouldn't have been. And I was so confused and so scared that I was just like, there's times where I'm just like, well, for precaution, I was like, maybe I should cleanse my room because that shit was not, I don't know. That moment in time, I was just like, there has to be something in my room at that point. And
nothing after that?
No, well, after that, I told my mom, and she had some, like, I think it was sage or whatever, so we burned some sage in my room.
Okay.
And my room's been good for now.
For now. It's a key word right there.
I usually do put something. I have a cross here in this room that I brought from Esquipulas. And we have a lot
Shout out to Esquipulas.
Shout out to Esquipulas. And I have a lot of stuff and I think Denise's mom kind of bendició un poco this place. So we haven't had anything weird going on. And some people may not believe it, but I see it more like a tool, not like a tool, but like, yeah, kind of like a protection veil.
Jesus is just a tool for you.
No, not Jesus itself. I'm saying like the stuff. So you have to kind of
You're
have.
taking
I
out the
don't know.
flashlight, using the flashlight, and then the incense, and then what is it? The box, the radio box. What's that? What the hell does it came on? The...
Oh, you're talking about
reader. You talking about what the ghost?
Phasmophobia.
Ghost
Phasmophobia?
Phasmophobia.
Oh, we should have been streaming Phasmophobia.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one to be
That'd have been
streaming.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, listen, guys, we have good times with Phasmophobia. If you guys ever stream, let's just say we all get scared.
That
Especially
is
me.
scary. Yeah.
For some reason, I just get
It's
scared
scary.
shitless.
My brother says he doesn't get as scared as he used to with it. He's kind of chill playing it now, but I still get scared. I do.
It's a little.
I still get scared.
I got a little scared when we were picking at the door in the lobby when we were waiting to everybody to get in, and the little thing appeared out of nowhere, the face, and I was like, ah, damn it. But
yeah,
I think they added a new update where you could summon the demon, or summon the spirit right away.
Oh.
To look at it.
Okay. We're gonna have to do that we're gonna have to do that.
We'll have to do it next time we do a Sunday night terror.
Yeah, because we got a lot more stories. I got a lot more stories. This is just part one, people.
Danny has a
This
bunch.
is just.
I don't know if it's because he seeks for it. I don't know, but Danny he hears them. He's a part of them. Maybe he's haunted. Denise, if you're still watching, careful with this one. I don't know. It's
Denise
scary.
and I, we love to watch scary videos as soon as the ones that we like. There's other ones.
Nuke's top
But the
5. Did you
But the ones that we like,
Yeah.
there's other ones. But the ones we see it, whenever
you?
this, yeah. I like to know because I don't
In
know.
the
I want
middle
to
of
know.
the night, all of a
Yeah.
sudden.
I also like to listen to park ranger stories, scary stories at work when I'm working.
Me and
So
my brother
Yeah, it
used
sounds
to.
like you asked for it.
I don't know if it was Nuke's top 5, but we used to watch videos like that to go to sleep to. When we shared a room, I would just put it on. I was put it on the nightstand. I would just go to sleep to it.
Oh, you guys are fucking weirdos.
that's
Yeah,
why Denise
honestly.
and I. Denise and I, we do that too. Yep.
It's a little psychotic. We're over here judging the kids who watch the scary stuff, but we just do it to feel alive at this point.
Damn. Well, damn.
I don't know. You tell me. Anyways, I think this is a good place to end it. We'll be back soon, but not too soon, because this has been scary, and this has been Sunday Night Terrors with Jason, Danny, and Adrian. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
can hear
that
you.
was
That was a
pretty-
good one. That was
Okay.
a pretty good one. And also,
Good night, sleep tight.
don't. How do you say this, Jason?
Don't
Let me
let
tell you
it
this.
cuckoo bite your butthole.
Don't be scared if you see in the corner of your door and there's a little hand creeping in. Don't be scared.
If only you knew.
Whoa!
Were you guys ever scared of under your bed? Or
Yes.
still scared?
Yes.
Do you guys remember?
All the time.
Yeah.
I'm still scared.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I'm a little bit too. And I know I
Yeah.
said I was done, but do you guys get that feeling still when you go to the bathroom late at night?
Oh my god. That actually scared me for a bit.
I was stalling for Denise to come on in and scare Daddy.
I hate you guys.
His eyes
I was
lit
I
up.
was like, oh, look at the door.
God
That'd
damn
give me
it.
some
I was
chills.
literally over here. The fucking door's opening. What the fuck's going on?
That was great. I was stalling for that. Thanks for listening, everybody. This has been Sunday Night
Oh,
Terrors.
fuck.
Have a lovely night.
I wish I had a camera for that one. I was literally like with my jaw dropping open. Like,
Adrian,
what the
I told her
fuck's
she was
going
gonna do that. I even told her she was gonna do that.
on?
I get her.
Good night,
God.
everybody. Good